What's Going On, Filmheads is another podcast. And at first I had originally planned to talk about, Insidious. I'm also talking about some TV. I'm talking about Breaking Bad, some Newsroom, until I heard a story that has just leaked regarding a certain movie. So I decided we'll talk about that on the podcast. Literally, as I was setting up the podcast, this story broke, and I was like, okay, well, now we obviously have to talk about this. So I have ReelChaseLee returning back to the podcast, and we're going to be talking about Insidious Chapter 2, but first, I'm going to be talking about the weekend movies that just came out. I saw The Family, and I saw Insidious Chapter 2. I'm going to go and blow right over The Family. If you did not see my review for it, then I'm going to have a short little review right now, and then we're going to talk about Insidious Chapter 2 with ReelChaseLee, and then we're going to be talking about the huge news that has broken over, what I can't tell you right now, but the huge news that has been, confirmed, finally. Anyway, so yeah, The Family, you got Robert De Niro in a mob movie. That doesn't happen very often. Actually, it happens every 15 minutes. And going into it, I was sort of excited. The trailer made me laugh. And then I found out it was 2 hours long. And man, does it feel like 2 hours long. This was a long movie. And guys, if you're stuck between The Family or Insidious Chapter 2, definitely go check out Insidious Chapter 2. The Family was I would say it was a good Redbox rental or a good cable movie, but it's not, go pay full ticket price to see it. I mean, Robert De Niro, he's fine in it. He does what he does, but he's not, he's not giving it his all. The guy's not going to win an Oscar for it or anything. He did fine, he sort of mailed it in, I guess you could say, but, it's a mob movie with Robert De Niro. He's a former mob agent, and he gets into some crap, and Tommy Lee Jones is protecting him in the witness protection program, and Tommy Lee Jones, he does the exact same thing. He doesn't necessarily try as hard as he can, but he does, he's Tommy Lee Jones. He doesn't really try. He's not going to get an Oscar for it. But the performances are fine. It's just a little too long, and it's not really that funny. There are some crazy, over-the-top deaths in it, but, I don't want to have 30 minutes of talking about The Family. This is a forgettable cable movie, and I believe I gave it 2.5 out of 5. So, yeah, there's that. I just want to knock that right out of the way, because whenever we get back from the break, I'm going to go get a water because I forgot, and I can't do the podcast without water, or my mouth will just, it'll be a desert. So I'm going to go grab a water. We're going to go on a short break. When I get back, ReelChaseLee will be on the phone, and we're going to talk about Insidious Chapter 2, and then I'm going to break the big news story, and I can't wait to see what you guys think of it. And as always, I will be right back here on the Modern Film Critic Podcast. Alright, I got that water. That's all I needed. Now we can talk about what I'm here to talk about mainly, and that is Insidious Chapter 2 and some big news. I have my friend ReelChaseLee on the phone right now. Hold on, I'm on Facebook and seeing some feedback on the show. But anyway, I'm back, and right now I've got ReelChaseLee on the phone. Man, what's going on? Do what?
What's happening with you?
So you saw Insidious Chapter 2, right?
Yeah.
and I saw your review on it. Give me a rundown of your thoughts on the movie and what all you thought about it.
Well, like I said in the previous podcast, previous one is my favorite horror movie of my lifetime, and so going to the sequel, I had those high expectations, and I got there, man. I really liked it.
Yeah, I did too.
I really like the story, and I like how Raven Ellis is like can connect both of those, and that's what I liked about it. It doesn't rely on like violence or nudity. It's really creepy retro storytelling that I really liked.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the way they tied everything up. I'm not going to give any spoilers because it's only Monday, and I'm sure some of you still haven't seen it. But they tie it in with the first one so perfectly in this really cool way. And once you see it, you're like, man, that took some thinking. And in the middle of the movie, the timeline of this one is just so weird. I couldn't help but to get slightly confused of it in the middle of it. Did you have that problem, or did you pretty much know what was going on throughout the whole movie?
No, I think I had like a basic understanding what was going on. I kind of get where you're coming from because there was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I think I was just so into it that I just.
Yep. With the first one, you've got one storyline. You've got them figuring out what the heck's going on. You've got the family, but in this one, you've got two things going on. You've got the whole Parker thing going on, and then you've got the family doing the thing that they did in the first one, was figuring out what the heck's going on with this time was the dad. And then you've got that woman and the ghost hunting crew, researching on the Parker thing, and then things just happen, and the timeline is it's weird because the whole movie in this one, we're in the further. In the first one, it's like the second half of the movie is mostly the further, but in this, we're in the further the whole time. And the movie doesn't try to it doesn't build up anything. If you've seen the first one. If you haven't seen the first one, you're not going to know what the heck is going on in the second one because it jumps right in the second after the first one ends, and I loved it. It was very fast paced.
Yeah, if you don't see the first one, you'll be just as confused as when you see a Michael Bay movie and tries to do comedy.
Yeah. Now, some people had a problem with the comedic aspect of the film. What did you think it was too much? Did you think it worked, or what were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was too much, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
In the first one, I thought it was okay. Like, I thought it was kind of weird, but it was kind of fun. In the second one, it felt like it's story. I don't know if you felt that way, too.
Okay, I gotcha. See, I enjoyed it in the first one. In this one, I heard, like I said, I heard a lot of people saying, the comedy in this one it just doesn't really work. See, I didn't really see that. I actually found myself laughing, especially whenever he puts his hand on his leg. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. And the Hot Pocket comes back from the first one. The guy's still eating on the Hot Pocket. But now I'm going to break the story that I heard about just before this podcast was aired. It was Insidious, I don't know if it's going to be Insidious Chapter 3, but Insidious 3 has been confirmed with the same writer, but the headline read, with or without James Wan. So if he's going to do it or not, they're going through with this thing, and that sort of scares me. I'm excited, but I'm still going to be hesitant if James Wan does not attend, because this guy contributes a lot to this franchise. His direction is great. His cinematography is brilliant, and if he's not attached to it, I just don't think it'll be able to feel like Insidious as much as the first and second one did, because the second one felt like I was watching the ending of Insidious just stretched out. It still felt like Insidious. We had the great musical score and the great camera work, and if James Wan isn't attached to the third one, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be a little hesitant into going into it.
I'm kind of like 50-50 on it, only because, first of all, I want to say that the ending to number 2 was ridiculous. I haven't seen a cliffhanger like that in a long time. I'm just like, really? You're going to come out the light there? God.
Did you say in ridiculous? Do you mean it's ridiculous as in good or ridiculous as in bad?
Ridiculous. And also bad is the fact that we had to wait for the third.
Oh, okay. See, now the thing is, I liked it, but I was asking myself, how would they continue a third one and follow the family? You know, like how would they continue that on? I mean, if another person in the family gets like haunted, I think that would be a little bit too far, because it's like, come on, the boy was pretty much possessed, not possessed, whatever the name for it is, and then the dad had troubles with a ghost. If we get another family member that's being troubled by another ghost, I think we're going a little bit too far. Maybe we could branch off in a different storyline. I don't know what direction they could go with it. I just hope they don't repeat themselves again. You know, sort of like Taken, the Taken franchise. The first Taken was great. The second Taken, they just did the same thing again, and it didn't work. I'm really glad that the second Insidious worked whenever they pretty much repeated themselves, but this time it was with the dad. But I think if they do it again in the third one, I think it's going to lose a lot, because, you know, we've seen it 2 times. We don't really need to see it again, and I just hope they go a different route. I thought they were going to make sort of a spin-off movie, I guess, with the ghost hunters, the 2 ghost hunting guys, and the old woman. I don't know, maybe we can have a whole movie to take place in the further.
To be honest with you, I'm just super pumped on whatever direction they go with it, only because, come on, the same writer, excellent at creating, like, horror movies. Like, this is the guy that created Saw, and let me tell you, like, that was one of the biggest twists of that time. Like, I watched the first Saw, and, you know, for the very first time, and you're just blown away. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I kind of doubt that guy was the killer. Like, really nice.
Saw for me is such a it's a movie that everyone, whenever they hear Saw, they're like, oh, that franchise that went on for 47 movies. I love that first movie, and the second, the third one, they're not as good, but they're not horrible. Anything after that is just I wasn't really on board for. But that first Saw movie, when it first came out, that changed the game for horror movies, because that was such a polarizing movie when it came out. It was huge. It was the movie that everyone was talking about, and I absolutely loved the first Saw. And James Wan, coincidentally, he was the only one. He was the director of that one. Then he didn't direct any other ones. But it's such a great psychological horror film, and it's one of my favorite horror films of all time. Because, you know, you got these 2 guys who are in the bathroom, they don't know what the heck, how they got there, and then as they started to piece things together, you know, your mind pretty much explodes at the end. It is a great, great movie. I love the first Saw.
And then like, wrapping around to the street, and exactly why I still have faith in it, is because that guy writes a really good horror movie. So
Yeah.
Still lose some of his credibility for a little bit, and it's going to lose some of his cinematic touches. But if they get the right person, I believe it is still possible.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the same writer coming back. They said the writer is going to the same, I can't remember his name. I think it's Lee or something like that. He is coming back to write it, or maybe it's a girl. I don't know. The same person who wrote the. Do what?
No, the writer of Insidious is Beck.
Is what?
The smaller ghost hunter in Insidious.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew that. I heard about that. Yeah, he's coming back to write the third one. And, I mean, I think the writing is great in Insidious 1 and Insidious 2. But, like I said, the second one gets a little bit confusing for me. And I hope the third one doesn't just repeat itself again. And maybe James Wan will come back. I've heard 2 sides of the story. I heard he's completely quitting, but then I heard he's just taking a break. Because I know his next film is Fast and the Furious 7, which is definitely different from anything he's ever done. And I'm actually looking forward to it. But, I mean, I hope he doesn't completely stop, because this guy's great, you know?
I don't think he'll stop. I think exactly what you were saying is he'll take a break, because that guy's a master.
Yeah.
Generations of what's great.
Yeah, like, I think he's going to quit for a while and then come back and just floor us with a new horror movie, you know? Like, that's what I would love to see more than anything, is him to come back from, taking a break and just completely floor us with, a new horror movie. Maybe he's going to do Insidious 3 in the future. But,
you know that The Conjuring 2 is happening as well, so...
What?
The Conjuring 2.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. They're going to continue on with the Warren family, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
See,
from a financial point, like you just said.
now going back to Insidious 2, I'm going on Rotten Tomatoes right now. You can probably hear me typing on my keyboard. I'm going on Rotten Tomatoes right now, and this movie isn't getting the best reviews critically. It's at a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes, and some people actually didn't like it. Greg Cox is actually listening on the podcast, and he says, "Heard Insidious 2 is crap, not even worth a Redbox trip." I tell you, I cannot wait to go to anywhere like Walmart or whatever and buy this so I can put it right next to Insidious on my shelf. I can't wait to buy it on Blu-ray and watch it again. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I did too, and it just floors me that it's rocking that 37 or 30-something% right now.
Yeah, it's at 38, and I honestly don't see it. I thought it was great. I thought everyone behind it actually cared about, pleasing the audiences of the first one.
Yeah.
And I hope that's the way they go with the third one, I hope Insidious Chapter 3 or Insidious The Final Chapter, which I hope they don't name because we saw the final chapter. But, I mean, heck, what else are they going to name it? But I hope Insidious Chapter 3 is great, and I hope we have a great Insidious trilogy to put on our DVD or Blu-ray shelves. And Paranormal Activity 3 probably should have stopped at 3, but they kept going with 4, so we can't have a great Paranormal Activity series. And I hope they stop at 3 with Insidious, and we have a great trilogy. I don't know, James Wan. I think this is James Wan's first sequel. Yeah, direction-wise. I know he produced, like, the second Saw and the third one, but when it comes to him directing, this is his first sequel, and I gotta say, the guy did a pretty good job. Heck, it was better than Adam Sandler's first sequel, Grown Ups 2.
Well, if Insidious 3 is good as the second and first one, it will be one of the greatest trilogies.
Yeah, what are some good horror trilogies that we know of? I'm trying to think of some on the top of my head. Yeah, I haven't finished the Evil Dead series, but that's what I hear. I have to watch it before the Comic-Con rolls around. But I'm trying to think of some other good. I mean, the Omen franchise, they had like 5 of them, and the first one was good, and the rest of them were awful. I really can't think of a lot of good like horror trilogies. And if Insidious 3 is good, then that'll be one to put in the books of really good horror, a really good horror trilogy.
Yeah, if it's really good, it could be one of the only good horror trilogies of this generation.
Yeah. I really wish they would have stopped at Paranormal Activity 3, because that definitely would have been one of those where, in my opinion, I really enjoyed all 3 of them. I didn't think any of them sucked. But the 4th one, yeah, it sucked. And now we've got a 5th one, and now we've got a spin-off. Who knows where the heck Paranormal Activity in space, who knows where this is going, who knows when it's going to end. Like I just said, I hope Insidious doesn't go down that route. Because, I mean, Insidious Chapter 2, I loved it, like I said, and it seems like you liked it, and it seems like we're both on board for a third one, and I hope they stop there. But in this one, in the second one, I felt like the performances was really, really good, especially from the woman, the wife. I can't remember her name.
Rosebud.
Yeah, Rosebud, and I really liked watching her performance in this, and, Patrick Stewart did fine. He did his thing. He was good in the first one, too, but, do what?
He's the Patrick Stewart.
What?
It sounds like he's the Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, I mean, I love that guy in a lot of stuff, but... And what I like about this one, the kid actors don't suck,
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Like the kids in The Purge was, oh my gosh, that was just horrible. That was just gut-wrenchingly bad. But they were like, we've got to help these kids along, because if they suck, especially in the first one, when the whole movie revolves around one kid sleeping, if he sucks, then you don't have much. If you've got a whole movie based off of one character, and the performance by him sucks, then that would be awful. But they did a good job, and he was a creepy kid, I must say. Him being in a coma, like I said, I like the first Insidious better, but Insidious 2, you like the second one better, didn't you?
No, I feel like the first one way better, but as a whole, I still like it. I still like the second one. I love the first one. I just can't compare. Yeah,
it really does. So yeah, like I said, Insidious Chapter 2 is really, really good. Insidious Chapter 3 is confirmed. I'm on board. Chase Lee is on board. We got 7 minutes left. I'm going to talk about some TV, and then we're going to close. Thanks again for being on the podcast, man. We're going to have another one coming up soon. What is coming out this next weekend? Do you know?
This weekend is, I think...
Oh, that dance movie, Battle of the Year.
Oh, God.
What else is there? There's one more big movie coming out. I cannot remember. Okay, hold on. I'm looking up right now. Prisoners. Yeah, which actually looks really good to me, I think. And it's getting some early praise, so can't wait to check that one out. Battle of the Year. I just don't care. Sawyer from Lost is in it, and Josh Peck is in it, so who knows what the heck that's going to be like. So, but I'll end up seeing it and probably suffering. So, thanks for being on the show again, man. I'll have you on for the next one, definitely.
Alright, no problem, Daddy.
Alright, see you, man. The good guy. If you guys don't know who that is, go on YouTube. Go to ReelChaseLee, REEL, and Chase Lee, and he does movie reviews. He reviewed Insidious Chapter 2 and some cool insight on that movie. And you can also check out my review on my YouTube. Now I've got about 6 or 7 minutes left. I want to talk briefly about Breaking Bad. We are at our last few episodes of Breaking Bad, and man, I'm not going to spoil anything, so you guys just keep listening, chill, drink your Kool-Aid or whatever, and if you are not caught up with Breaking Bad, just prepare yourself. I didn't get to see it when it came. I didn't get to see the newest episode yesterday when it was playing live. I had to see it when it dropped online, and I was talking with a friend, and he was like, just get ready. Just prepare yourself for this episode because things happen, and it's really hard to watch. And my goodness, this is one of the greatest episodes of Breaking Bad. It is a great episode in the whole season. Probably one of my favorites so far in the whole season. Like I said, I really like Dead Fright too. That was probably one of my favorites of the season as well. And if that was in the season, I believe it was. Yeah, I think so. This episode is fantastic. Words can't describe how overjoyed I was with this episode. When I saw it, so many things happen. We finally come full circle in this episode. People die, and more people find out about things, and more answers are revealed in this episode. It is just a breath of fresh air, and it is fantastic. Chase Lee has not seen it yet. Man, you got to check it out because it's fantastic. Like I said, 5 out of 5. I loved it. You need to check out my review on my channel. It is a spoiler review, so if you have not seen it, don't watch the review. But obviously, if you have seen it, go check out my review because I just don't know what's going to happen at the end. And also, I have a Breaking Bad contest going on, and you can go on my channel, and I have a video entitled Breaking Bad Contest. And it's, you predict what Walt is going to do with that machine gun, and if you get it right, then you win a poster. A movie poster. I can't remember which one, but it's in the video. I've got a ton laying around here that I need to get rid of and do some contests. So, the next podcast, I will be having a live contest and giving away some stuff because I've got posters laying around everywhere. I've got Star Trek Into Darkness, I've got Epic, I've got Olympus Has Fallen, I've got Iron Man 3, I've got Man of Steel, I've got Pacific Rim, I've got the Wolverine, I've got the Lone Ranger, I've got Percy Jackson. I have way too many movie posters to fit in one room just to hand out to you guys. So, like I said, check out the newest episode of Breaking Bad. Catch up, and if you have not started on Breaking Bad, what are you doing listening to this podcast? Close this podcast, go watch Breaking Bad, come back, and let me know what you think, because it is one of the greatest TV shows on right now. And that brings me to my next small little thing I want to talk about, and that is the Newsroom. If you have not seen the Newsroom, I would suggest highly to check that out as well. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it. It's very polarizing. Aaron Sorkin, the director of The Social Network, is on this, and he made this, and it's very interesting. And I'm just going to let you guys know that I will have my review for Season 1 up very, very soon. I had to delay it because a lot of stuff has been going on. I'm seeing Rush tomorrow, which I am super, super excited for. I can't tell you how excited I am to see Rush. It comes out in about 2 weeks, I believe, and the newest Ron Howard film coming out I'm completely on board, and I'm super pumped for it, and it looks great through the trailers. And I guess this is sort of a before the movies segment, and I'm obviously going to have a video for it, but the movie looks great, and I've been hearing early praise for it as well, so I'm very excited to see it. And we got Thor. Chris Hemsworth is in it, not Liam Hemsworth, his brother. He still needs to go through some acting sessions, but we got Chris Hemsworth in it. And overall, I'm super pumped for Rush. We've got a busy weekend. We've got the review for Rush coming out, the newsroom review. We've already covered Breaking Bad, and then we've got Battle of the Year coming out, and then we've got Prisoners coming out, and I'm very excited. I'm working on a new segment to have for you guys, so it's not just movie reviews and things like that and TV reviews. I'm going to have a new segment that I'm going to be doing every week or every month, whatever I figure out. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm trying to do something different and, go that direction. But this is a very fun podcast. I want to thank ReelChaseLee again. Go check out his YouTube, and go to my YouTube, youtube.com/modernfilmcritic. Check out my review for Insidious Chapter 2 and The Family, and go to my Facebook, facebook.com/modernfilmcritic. I want to thank everyone for listening in on this podcast, and this is the Modern Film Critic on Spreaker.com, signing off.